And welcome to episode 26 of A Dose of Sinsanity. I am GR3, joined by Welshie and Jamokin. How's it going, fellas?
I'm tired. People got me up at 8:30 at night trying to talk about stuff. Man, I hate this. I'm an old man. I sleep. I need old man hours.
And my puppy had me up
I'm
two
doing pretty
times
good.
last night.
I'm doing pretty
boo-hoo.
good.
And no,
You
no
know,
one, no one
I'm
cares
living the
about you,
dream.
Jamokin.
You know what they do, all right?
Okay,
Most
I'm
of the
kidding,
audience
I'm
gives a
kidding,
shit
I'm
about
kidding.
me.
Young whippersnapper.
It is a
Jamokin.
Jamokin show.
Like, main character energy. Come on, boys.
Everyone else is just side
We are
characters.
here for the
They're
Jamokin.
all side characters.
Everyone else.
Doing all
So,
right.
we've got a few things to talk about. First thing, though, Welshie, we have some news regarding Pot of Sins.
Yeah, man.
Not exciting news, but it is news.
I think it's
you
not.
You want to break it down?
That may not be exciting, but it's news. It's been a great run, everyone, but I think me and Greco have kind of talked, and we've kind of come to the conclusion at this point that Pot of Sins has run its course. It's been great building this community. It's been a wonderful fucking time getting to know everyone and to have all the fun games and play all the games we've had and put together the events we had. Sins and Grins still lives in my mind as one of my favorite things I've ever worked on.
We've done some cool things.
For sure.
We had our in-house league run for, I think, 4 seasons, which was actually a lot of fun. We had a lot of positive things on that. The biggest thing is like this whole thing started. We've talked about it before, but the main thing was like you open your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden, we have 2 teams
Mm-hmm.
that multiplied into 4, that multiplied into like 8, and I think at one point we had 10 teams.
Oh yeah.
And it was cool. It just kind of has gotten to the point where real life really just gets in the way. Welshie, you've kind of been very distant, I think, for the last 2 seasons, and now it's kind of gotten to the bit where it's too much to kind of handle, and kind of just ready to go experience new teams. Like my plan is to enter free agency after this season and kind of see where it takes me, if I end up on a team or if I don't, and kind of go from there. So it'll be fun. It'll be fun to actually just get back, play the game, enjoy, and take away all those responsibilities.
Yep.
But that does not mean that our podcast is ending.
Not at all. We're still going to be around talking about dumb shit, but it's to say that at the same time, like I said, it's Pot of Sins that we don't want to really turn it over to anybody. And I think it's best we've come to the conclusion to just let it be our experience that we are choosing to let end. The teams will still be around a little bit, and obviously Pot of Greed will never truly die, but it started as an art project that was a lot of fun and then turned into this gang of people that turned into an amazing couple of events and teams and memories. But it's the golden hour. It's time to put a close to it. It's time to turn off the lights and close up shop.
Closing time.
Exactly.
We're gonna be a lot like PSGS.
Yeah, but we'll be around.
Never truly gone.
Nobody's leaving this community. Nobody's retiring, but we are certainly going to let the rest of the teams run to work and just kind of watch 82L be 82L and go on with real life.
I'm still waiting for one of you to say psych.
Nope.
Like, are mom and dad getting a divorce?
Nah.
Mom and dad are not getting a divorce, though they
Mom
might.
and dad are retiring to Florida.
Since mom has been sitting AFK in the freaking League of Legends main menu quite often.
Mom,
you really shouldn't have been doing that, Mom. I'll tell you. Like, Dad's been hard at work in the lab putting together these new logos and shit. I just don't appreciate it.
Yeah. Let's get into the more fun stuff. So, I've said it before. I'll say it again. There is no time like TI. It is literally holiday season for Dota. And closing in. Currently, it is the 19th at 7:35 Central, 8:35 Eastern. So closing in 1 hour and 25 minutes is our bracket predictions. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through and we're going to do a collective bracket prediction just for us. That's going to be on Ben's Battle Pass because his level 1 Battle Pass, because he doesn't play Dota anymore. And we're just gonna kind of see what do we think, talk about it, and then we should have on the screen the bracket as well, so you guys can take a look at what our thoughts are, and what we decided as we went through this.
Yeah, whose year do we collectively think that it is this year? I'm curious to see.
I was not a EG fan until I saw them through groups.
Yeah.
But then I still feel like it's a PSG LGD year.
It's always a PSG LGD year, dude.
If it isn't their year, I would just give up Dota, because holy God, they've gotten so close. I mean, I said this before, right? It's like everyone like says, "Oh, I feel so bad for them," and meanwhile, I'm like, "Oh no, they made like 1.5 million instead of like 2.5 million. Oh, they're crying in their fucking $100 bills, right?" Like I mean, they want the title, right? If you get this, if you're this good, you want the title, but I don't think they're suffering too hard, right?
I mean, they still made about $5.2 million last year.
Yeah, they're not upset, right? They're not that upset.
Almost a mill a person.
Yeah.
So they're upset because, I mean, TI is the holy grail. It's like winning the Super Bowl. Like, you went to the Super Bowl, that's really cool. You get a nice payday for it. But, like, you didn't win it.
You want the ring, yeah.
When you have like this whole like resume of things that you've done in Dota, TI is the holy grail, right?
For sure.
So let's get started though. So we'll talk with the first bit. So in the upper bracket, round 1, EG versus Thunder Awaken. Is there anyone else other than me that thinks Thunder Awaken has 0 chance?
No, you're right. Thunder Awaken has 0 chance. I agree with that. I love Thunder Awaken. I do. But I think that EG currently at the way they're going, if they lose round 1, I will be incredibly upset.
Yeah, they get to choose their... Oh, you heard it here first. Jamokin will eat shoe. Next matchup is Secret versus PSG LGD. This is a close one. I think this could probably go either way, but for benefit of the doubt, I think PSG LGD will probably take it like 2-1.
I want Secret to advance more.
You need Secret and Liquid.
Yeah, so like, every one of them is, but I think we've been saying it's a PSG LGD kind of feeling year. I feel in my gut, like outside of our bet, that it's going to be someone between EG and PSG LGD are going to be in finals. So I think that PSG LGD has to advance in my mind.
Yeah. And they finished pretty well. I mean, it was 12-6 that they finished in the brackets. Secret was 13-5. I think it was a little bit more competitive in Group A, personally. Mm-hmm. Coming out 12-6, there was a slow start from PSG LGD, and that's also something to like kind of think about. Like, PSG LGD started off kind of shitty, and then have really closed it out and beating some good teams. So they 2-0'd OG, and I think like ridiculous fashion. And like, am I right? Like, those were not close. And then they 2-0'd RNG, who started off real hot. And then 2-0'd Liquid. Like, they're beating really fucking good teams and 2-0ing them, not just splitting, like they're 2-0ing.
Yeah.
So I think PSG LGD.
I agree.
Yeah, and then they 1-1 Bet Boom.
Yeah, well, and then don't forget that Bet Boom also 0-2'd EG. Like,
yeah, but that series was way different. Like, EG 2-0'd Bet Boom. It was Boom Esports that 2-0'd EG. And that was the last series. EG already clinched like the number 1 overall, and basically they're like, and if you watch the drafts, like, it was very different from what they've been running. They're like, okay, let's just try some things out. This is kind of a soft idea. Does it work? Can we do it? It's against one of the worst teams. That's the way it felt to me, at least.
Oh, I completely agree. Yeah. But even still, it kind of rocks some confidence. But yeah, no, you're right. So I think EG is still a very consistent team overall. I mean, we'll see if the Artor curse wears off, but I doubt it. On top of that as well, Kyle. Anybody see Kyle's tweet?
No, I did not.
Kyle said it's EG's year, and Artor immediately responded with, "What the fuck, Kyle?"
Tundra and OG is the next one.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Is Tundra kind of like, I don't know, like they don't feel like they should be as good as they were in the groups.
Which is exactly how I feel, but
what do you guys think? Tundra over OG or OG over Tundra? Personally, I said
Tundra.
OG. Tiebreaker goes to Ben.
Let me give me a moment here. I want to see who Tundra beat going through brackets. I mean, going through groups. I need to look at it really quickly.
Well, so Tundra ended up 1-1-ing Aster, 1-1-ing Beast Coast.
They're 2-0
Entity. Yeah, they're the number 2 seed. Like they won Group B. They 2-0'd Fnatic. They 2-0'd Secret. They 2-0'd
they 2-0'd Secret.
2-0'd Talon.
Spirit, Secret.
Yeah, no, I think OG's getting their shit kicked in. All right, I'm going Tundra.
Okay, so we're going Tundra. Also, another thing is they clearly see something. So, like, Tundra got to choose between the 3 and the 4 seed of Group A. So they got to choose: do they want to play PSG LGD or do they want to play OG? And they chose OG. I wouldn't want to fucking play PSG LGD either.
Fuck no, dude.
Fuck that.
No shot.
Jesus, fuck that.
So would you rather bottom out of this tournament and win less money, or at least guarantee you win more money?
Right. Aster and Liquid.
I think personally, old dogs are gonna bark. I think that it's gonna be Liquid coming through.
I think this will be the most interesting series.
Yeah.
Really?
I don't know. I said Liquid on mine.
I put Liquid through as well.
Yeah, so I guess.
But I think this is going to be a very interesting.
It's a 2-1 either way, right? Like there's no way it's not.
Yeah.
Just the China region just feels not as good as in the past. Feels very heavy on PSG LGD. So let's go to lower bracket round 1. So these are best of ones, first and foremost. So Beast Coast versus Sakori. I said Beast Coast.
It's Beast Coast all day, dude. I'm sorry, I can't betray Beast Coast.
Team Spirit or Boom?
It's Spirit.
Boom. Best of one. It's Boom, baby.
No, Team Spirit for me, dude.
I'm saying Spirit too.
All right. Fnatic and Gammon Gladiators. This was one that I was really hesitant on. I think it's going to be a really, really good game.
I think Fnatic.
I said Gammon.
I said Gammon too. I'm saying it simply because I feel I have residual feelings about Virtus Pro, so I feel like Fnatic just don't deserve to be here.
What is your reasoning for Fnatic? Because you might sway me.
From the games I've watched, I just personally felt that Fnatic were the better team. If I'm
I haven't watched too much Gammon. I think I always saw one Fnatic game, and they looked good when I saw it, and when they were playing Beast Coast. Who did Gammon beat?
Gammon
they 2-0'd Bet Boom. They 1-1.
They got 0-2'd by EG with Shocker there. And then they 2-0'd Bet Boom and they 2-0'd Beast Coast. Those are the only 2 teams they 2-0'd.
Series of Fnatic that I liked was the Fnatic Secret and the Fnatic Spirit, where they won them both.
I think
are
I'm going Fnatic.
Yeah, I'm gonna bleed Fnatic too. I'm gonna go Fnatic.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but yeah, I'm not. I almost didn't want to talk about this one. It has to be RNG. I have to back RNG on this. On
100%.
RNG Entity.
Yeah, I can get behind that. I think I was saying Entity. Just kind of, I wanted a little bit of a like BO1. Some underdog's gonna have to win a BO1. It always happens. So I was gonna go Entity. But,
the interesting thing about BO1s is like everyone's gonna play really safe. Like everyone's buying BKB, whether they need BKB.
Yeah.
Like you're all buying fucking BKB, and you might tread.
A safe game, Chinese Dota wins it every time.
Yep.
Yep.
Like if Entity's gonna beat RNG, they have to go balls to the wall. Yeah, I can go RNG.
Okay. So we're in the next bracket now. So now back up to the top. Let's talk.
No,
oh fuck.
No. We're in lower bracket round 2.
Oh, we're staying there. Okay. Well, no, fair enough. That's fair enough. So Thunder BC. Thunder Beast Coast.
Thunder Beast Coast. Thunder Awaken.
Yeah, I think so as well.
I just think they're the better SA.
These
are BO3s here on out until the finals.
I mean, Thunder's just been more consistent through the year as well, I think. So I don't think there's really that question about that.
Beast Coast
Thunder was crushing. Thunder was doing really good.
Yeah, they had a couple
in the winter DPC.
Yeah, they've had a few. I think winter was really nice for them. And they're big, tiny players. They like their Marcies. They like that early aggression stuff, which is kind of all those heroes that we're seeing that are heavy in the meta. Like it's kind of SA Dota heroes. So, and a lot of Thunder heroes. Like on top of that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm Thunder. Secret versus Team Spirit.
Yeah, Secret versus Spirit is shit.
I don't think Spirit can run this again. I'm Secret.
Run from the bottom. I'm gonna lean with that. I'm gonna lean with that also because I'm biased. But yeah, I'm gonna lean with that. I'm gonna say Secret for them.
I think Secret's a really, really good team that just has to play PSG LGD in the first round.
Yeah. So I'm going to say Secret for that.
Yeah, I say Secret as well.
Okay.
Tundra, OG and Fnatic.
OG.
Yeah, I have OG moving on.
Yeah, OG. Aster and RNG.
I'm actually going to back. So I'm interested in what you guys have to say about this, but I have a gut feeling about Aster on that one.
I think Aster's a better team.
I think I don't know. RNG didn't impress me in the groups too much. Aster had some really, really good plays, I thought, and really good drafts. So I'm going to say Aster beats RNG there.
My main thing is RNG started hot and did not.
Yeah. Which was amazing. They were crushing.
Now we are at. Are you on the same page here, JMO?
I have RNG beating them out, but 2-1, right?
No, I mean this is the group bracket. So now we jump up to the next bracket
Thunder and Secret.
Oh yeah, fair enough.
So we're going the way that TI is gonna go.
Basically. Fair enough. No, you're right. You're right.
So Thunder and Secret. I'm.
Secret.
It's got to be. If it's between those two, it's Secret.
I want it to be Thunder, but I don't see it away. I just don't see a way.
I don't see it. Tundra versus Aster.
Give me Tundra.
Yeah, I'm gonna give Tundra too.
Okay, now we're back in the upper bracket round 2.
Finally.
EG versus PSG LGD.
Holy shit, dude. I don't. Hold on, let me take a moment to do a little research here before I give my opinion on that one.
EG upper bracket all the way.
All the
brackets
way.
for bitches.
EG, you're outvoted.
All
Fuck
right,
whatever you're looking for.
Fair
Next,
enough.
Tundra Liquid. Tundra Liquid.
Tundra Liquid.
It's liquid.
Liquid.
Yeah. Wait a minute. What the fuck happened here?
Wait a minute.
What did you do?
I did fuck this up. Sorry, everybody. We're going back real quick. I forgot we said OG. It was OG and Aster. My bad. Not Tundra and Aster.
Oh my god. If it's OG
I was super confused. I was not looking at
my bad
perspective.
I didn't realize.
Make sure you're clicking on the
I've unfucked it, everybody. Don't worry about it. So going back on it.
OG and Fnatic, OG wins.
Yeah, I agree.
OG and Aster. OG, I think.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think OG in the OG Aster matchup.
I don't think OG is good.
think they got the same record. I think that they're inconsistent. I think they lose the next matchup is what I think. I think that's where
I think OG's played better teams with Aster.
Don't feel like these players are like really battle hardened.
I think Aster is though, like.
But I feel like I know more about OG, and that makes me doubt them more than Aster.
Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I love Ori and Baboka, but like, they've never done anything in TI. Like,
Plus, I have to stick it to all the EU Dota is the best.
Like, keep in mind, this is the IG stack essentially. Like, XSS, Ori, Baboka, like these are all like all Invictus Gaming. Like, look good sometimes, usually not great.
Yeah, I'm gonna stand by the idea that I think OG gets through this round. I think they're gonna get the axe in the next one. That's what I think is gonna happen.
We're not there yet, though.
Yeah, but we'll get there. So OG, Aster, I'm going OG.
I'm saying OG.
Then there we go. Back to the top now. So we did EG, PSG.
Tundra and Liquid.
So Tundra, Liquid. What are we saying? Tundra.
We said Liquid.
We said Liquid.
We said Liquid. We said Liquid.
Now we are at
Tundra Secret, and I'm going Secret. I'm going Secret.
Really?
I'm going Secret as well.
I would have second guessed that. PSG, LGD, OG. It's
LGD.
PSG. Yeah, it's LGD all day for that one.
PSG, LGD.
LGD round 5.
LGD over Secret.
Yep. LGD over Secret. I can see that.
Now we're gonna go to
EG
versus Liquid.
EG.
And it's EG, baby.
It's EG.
EG, baby.
Liquid versus PSG, LGD.
PSG, LGD.
LGD.
And I get an Arcana, and we kind of have to say EG's gonna win, right? Like, it
has to be. This is the year.
I'm sorry.
EG, lock it in.
I'm quoting it now. I'm quoting it now. I'll lock it in, and I'm with it. I'll lock it in, Jumpa. But I'm saying right now that they have the Kyle curse. I'm saying right fucking now, if they make it to finals, they're going to choke.
Kyle's a fucking nobody. Fuck him.
All right, EG's winning it. You heard it here first.
Well, probably not. I'm sure other people.
No, we heard it from Kyle first.
I'm sure you've heard this from like other people you know.
Yeah.
And whatnot, but
we
also said it too.
Yes, we also did say it. So there was a video, and we like to kind of take some inspiration here and there from different things that we watch and news that we hear around the Dota 2 scene.
Oh, we're transitioning already. All right. I wish I was. Somebody let me know.
Well, what do you want? We just finished
a smoother transition. God damn it!
Well, last time I did a smooth transition.
Tell me to fucking grit my teeth and use some goddamn lube, motherfucker. What the fuck is this?
It was so smooth, and then it just became
that transition though. Like, if you didn't listen to the last episode, definitely listen to the last episode because, there
was a buttery transition with a lot of lube involved, and then Jamokin just had to go fucking say something and ruin the goddamn thing, and it fucking. That's just.
Are you done ruining this one?
Just gets me. People who are like, this is a moment, are people who ruin moments. I'm just saying that right now.
Are you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay.
Anyways, so we see some things throughout the week. We get a little bit of inspiration. Jamokin shared with us a video. It was PPD talking with JMR from OG and discussing like the financial situation. And we kind of talked about this
We've touched on it a few times.
Like a long while ago.
I fucking talked about this to death with anybody who will listen to me on my soapbox about this subject, and PPD agrees with my ass. But go ahead.
Yeah, well, I don't think it's anybody disagrees with you, right? Like, it's the money situation, the money distribution is total ass for anyone, any pro player, unless you win TI. In like. Even if you bring in like the first, you kind of get paid a decent amount and like a livable amount. If you make it to 8th place, I would say. Even 12th place, I would say is like livable. Maybe like 16th. Basically, you got to make it to TI. You got to make it to TI. You got to get into the brackets. If you get into the brackets, it's a livable amount.
Do you want to break down the prize pool for?
So
yeah.
I did do this a little bit. So if you take last year's, prize pool was 40 million, 18,195. We'll just say 40 million. Now, if you made it into the brackets, you made about per player, and let's just say, so talking with guys who were like in management and things and deal with contract type stuff in organizations, on average, you're looking like some organizations are going to keep 10% of the prize pool, pay out 90 to the players. Some are going to be about 25. Some are going to be 15. About average, for just talking purposes, we're going to say 80% was paid out to players. Based on that, per player, if you just made it into the bracket last year, you made about 96,000 per player. If you didn't make it to the bracket, so like the main stage, and you got knocked out in groups, you made 16,000. So we're talking like if you're not a top 16 team, you actually cannot make a like livable wage.
And I want to preference this with, we're talking about assuming you're NA.
Yeah, assuming you're NA.
Because I don't know the cost of living for SA per se. Like I don't know how much it,
I'll tell you right now from talking to our friends in the South American hemisphere in Peru, I'll tell you right now, 50,000 is a shit ton of money to them actually, which gets into the whole thing of why more pro teams come out of regions that don't have high cost of living. But
it's just more sustainable when you're not at the top, right?
Like, well, when you're an organization too, like to have an organization, to have a house, to pay for like all the cost of living and all the things that it means to be a professional organization.
Yeah.
Low cost of living places like say Peru, like those are really beneficial because it doesn't cost as much, right? Like just flat out, like like you get more bang for your buck.
But I just want to preference, like going into this, we're not going to be like we're looking at it from an NA perspective because that's what we know.
Yes.
Through and through.
Yes.
I don't know Southeast Asia. We have a rough idea on SE, but we don't really know.
Right.
So we're also, I'm going to preference that as well. We're also not going to talk about changing prize pools depending on region to adjust for cost of living because I think that's a little over the. That's
a lot
been
of
made
work
by pro
that
players.
I don't want to put in.
Yeah, and that's over the scope of what we're going to be discussing. But
yeah, so the main thing is this is all a chunk of money that is one, and obviously it's not even fucking close right now. Like,
no,
as of right now, the prize pool might hit 20 mil. Might. We don't know. Isn't looking like idea. It. It doesn't seem to be. I think it's around 16 right now.
We've already had the battle pass sale as well.
Yeah, and it didn't really bump up. So not a lot of money is coming out of this, which means it's even less sustainable. And if we say like 20 mil, we'll say like somehow they're going to figure out a way to get 20 mil prize. That means there's $8,000 thereabout. Actually, I can give you here in a second the actual amount that are going to these teams. So your 17th, 18th, 19th, and 20th get $42,000 for the whole organization, like everyone. Let's say they have to pay out like I don't know, like 20% of that. They're getting like $7,000 like per person.
Yeah.
And funding ends in 10 days.
Yeah.
From time of recording.
So you can't like you make it, you finally get there like to TI, where all that matters is TI. And you still can't sustain an actual wage for the entire year. So what if let's just assume like we know that they can get to $40 million, right? It's happened, minus not having a shitty battle pass, right? Like,
let me just remind people that this is not something we're talking about just as these fucking three dipshit Dota heads in like theoretical talks. This is pros talk about this exact same thing too in the exact same way.
What if they split the prize pool from TI to fund the rest of the majors and the minors? Through, like, and I say minors, and I'll get to that, but like if they fund those tournaments with 50% of the prize pool, let's say like we don't have a shitty battle pass, we get to $40 million in. We know it's reachable. We've gotten there. Last year we got there, even through COVID and all that stuff, right? But
which is like 40 more days than the longest battle pass we've ever had.
Mm-hmm. So, for like, am I crazy that 40 mil is not unreachable? We've done it.
I don't really think it is.
Well, we're gonna use that number just because I want to.
Because didn't we use the 2020 battle pass and the 21 battle pass?
So the previous ones, I think, were like 38 and 31.
But we didn't have a TI in 2020. So didn't they take the 2020 money and 21?
That's right, because the TI 11 was actually the 2020 battle pass, right?
Yeah.
So, and Lord knows what happened with the other battle pass.
Oh, let's not get into that.
What happened with that money? But let's just say they use that funding and they split it in half. We get 40 mil, 20 mil goes to TI, 20 mil goes to major minors. So, and the reason why I say minors is fucking bring them back. Use your minors for Division 2 Dota and use that in order to make a more sustainable for Division 1 and Division 2. Right now, if you're looking at 2018 was the last time that we saw like actual major and minors. So your minor prize pool in 2018 was 300,000. Your major prize pool was 1 million. So of the 1.3 mil, 23% of it went to the minors and 77% went to the majors. Now, let's say you have 3 majors, 3 minors. You're looking at, for your majors, your prize pool is about almost 6.7 mil. Okay. For major minors, and then your major prize pool is going to be around 5 mil, 5.1 mil. Okay. You have 3 of these, and there's almost always a different team that takes first, right? Or like almost all the rankings are pretty much different each time, correct? If you finish, like, let's say there's 3 of them, and you just finish top 8 in this, you make roughly, well, over 60,000, almost like 62-ish thousand a year, US dollars. Oh. I would say that's livable, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Excluding TI, you just finished top 8. You can all of a sudden, it's livable.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if you hit like 13th through 16th, you hit 3 of them, you're sitting around 36,000, 37,000. Livable? Yeah, right?
Better, I would say.
I mean, I don't know exactly the US cost of living, but I assume it's livable. Because like for instance, I'll use Quinn. Like Quinn moved back in with his family because he was like, for one, I had a house, but I travel for Dota and like I'd only spend a few months out of the year at that house. So he's like, why am I paying for this? Like, so there's things like Dota players do to in essence save money.
Right. So I feel like based on that, if you finish 16th in the major and you do that 3 times, you've all of a sudden have a sustainable living.
For sure.
Now, you're not living high by any means, but you're living.
But you're living and you're able to continue to throw your focus into Dota.
Yeah, and
that's if you finish 13th through 16th 3 straight times and you have no fluctuation of doing better.
And you're not getting better as you get into Dota. I mean, it's the whole thing of, people can make a run at it like 1 year of their life. And then if they don't make that work, their funding is gone. They've used their entire life savings and now they can't. And they finished like, 18th or 20th in most of the tournaments that they entered. And it's like, you're not dog shit.
You're not the worst. You're actually like very competitive, but you're just not good enough to make decent money. Right. Or like you said, livable money. But if you do that consistently over the period of that, like, it's just getting away from the simple demographic that there is in Dota of where the money goes, which is that 90% of the prize pool goes to the top 1% of players.
I mean, that's why you also had some players literally say, I'm not playing until TI. Like, I'm not going to do the DPC. Like, what's the point?
On a Topson?
I'll just wait till TI and then play again because it doesn't matter. Like, nothing matters. So, like, the old system is just so busted when players are like, when you're their best player, you'll just be like, I'll just play TI because who cares? Mm-hmm. Which exactly, Anna Thompson comes straight to the top of my mind.
Yeah, Thompson and Anna have both done it the last 3 fucking years or 4 years.
Yep.
Now, minors, based on that, your minor prize pool, so for 3 of them, and this is where Division 2 get the minors, which these don't exist right now. There's nothing for Division 2. So
other than whatever we had in the DPC and what
like your DPC
$50,000 or something for first,
it's like, something stupid.
Yeah.
So your minors will get 23% of that prize pool. So you get roughly 1.5 mil.
For 3 minors?
Like per minors for 3 minors. Oh, so not for 3. Per minor, okay. 1.5. And then basically you get 3 minors. In order to earn what we consider like something that's sustainable, right? If you finish 4th, you get 14,720. Okay, per player. You're still you're like, what is that? Almost 40,000. Actually, I think it's like 42,000. If you get 5th through 6th, then you still make about 27,000, almost 30,000, which isn't a lot. No, it's not. But what are these guys doing anyways now? Like, they got day jobs. They're just good Dota players that are playing on teams that they just play, right?
They play for the love.
I think something that can also be played with is the paid out percentages for these majors and minors.
Sure.
I'm fine with TI, a good chunk going to first place because it's like the big tournament, right. You know? And like, I think winning the big tournament should come with substantial compensation.
To explain something real quick.
Yeah.
All these percentages, by the way, that I'm going off of are straight off the percentages from TI.
No.
Just wanted to clear that. Yeah. You may know that, but they may not. Go ahead. Sorry.
So I'm just thinking like we could play with these percentages to make more positions sustainable. Is just what I wanted to get at there.
Yeah, I agree. Because like once you get to 17th through 20th, and that's even if there's like there's 20 teams involved.
Yeah.
Like you make $613 for finishing 20th, 17th through 20th, based on
like,
this.
Fuck, that ain't paying your travel expense.
No, but in the same sense, it's more money than it would have made. But yeah, I agree. Like there's no point to travel. Like
I guess minors would largely be online though.
Right. And if you say, okay, we're gonna do completely online, and like we're just gonna do per region, obviously things like get divided differently. So you would basically take that, you would divide it by 6, and then it would be like your regional minor prize pool is like 255,000 and change. So then in order to really be sustainable, you would have to basically finish first. Where you would get 18,400. But you're not traveling. It's all online. And really, like, if I'm just playing an online tournament for like a weekend or something, hell, I'll take, if I finish 13.
Yeah, they're like the PSGS Invitational, right? Like
$613 per person, $3,000. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And again, you're talking about minors that nobody's traveling to. Right.
Like this is online.
No expensive. You're like me. Like we just get on where after we're done with the podcast, we log on and we do a fucking battle cup. That's what I'm talking about, right? Like you just log on for your games. You play like a condensed version of 82L, and like imagine playing 82L
PSGS Invitational on the weekend. Yeah. Like that's
like imagine doing that. And then getting 13th through 16th and walking home with $600 in your pocket for finishing 13th through 16th.
A lot of these minor teams aren't going to have like that organization cut.
And most of what these guys do anyways is they play online tournaments each weekend and throughout the weeks anyways. Like First Blood is like a big name for those, where they just play in these really quick tournaments that are like 1 day, maybe 2 days on the weekend, and they might get a couple, like make $100 or $200 or $300 like for how they do. And that's what like tier 2 Dota does sometimes. Like Division 3, Division 3. Fucking imagine if we had Division 3 Dota.
Imagine if Division 3 Dota had any kind of coverage whatsoever.
And I want to reiterate, like, I think it's really important to have these Division 2 and Division 3 be somewhat sustainable, because like your talent has to come from somewhere. And unless you're only getting like 17-year-olds that, you know, are completely independent and they can just play Dota for 16 hours a day.
Well, exactly. That have
people
parents,
have to come from somewhere.
Yeah, that have parents that are okay with them just living in their basement, never leaving their computer. Like, I'll tell you right now, if any parent would know the kind of schedule that a professional esports player needs to have, like, I wouldn't sign my kid up for it because it's damaging. I mean, there's a reason, there's a reason that none of the people who play Dota are exactly a fitness guru, are they?
Yeah, I mean, you get like to the like documentaries on individual players, and they talk about the upbringing and how pissed off people are, like that all they do is play Dota. Like Dendy one, I forgot which true site that was, but they were talking about how Dendy, like, they didn't appreciate that he was on his computer all day, like every day.
Yeah,
yeah,
you know
I remember that.
Like, yeah, like you have to, like, but you have to if you're gonna be a pro. And there's also, like, loads of stories like this.
And like, to draw, I guess, a parallel, like, think of
apparel.
Shut up. I struggle at saying that word. Anyways, imagine if the NFL suddenly, college football just wasn't a thing anymore. All the colleges said, no more football. Where the hell is the NFL getting their players from? Like, from what I know, they that beer league, yeah.
Have you never seen the replacements, Jamokin? They'll clearly go to the local street park and watch the kids play, and then offer them $1 million contracts.
Yes,
they'll get a Welsh kicker. Don't you know?
You need you at the top. You need these lower divisions.
I love that you brought this up, because if you think about the breakdown, let's use the NFL. Or like, baseball would even almost be better, like, of a breakdown. So like, I want to use baseball. I don't know how much you guys know about professional baseball. I used to work in it. So I know a little bit.
There's no salary caps. I know that much.
Yeah, there's no salary caps. But the way baseball works is you have your majors and then you have your minors. But your minors aren't like, so your majors are the ones that everyone knows, right? Like your Cardinals, your Cubs, your Phillies, like all those. But then your minors, you get into like your AAA, your AA, your single, your high A, your low A, your rookie ball, your California fall league, your Arizona fall league, Dominican league, like all these different things. And then you have your independent leagues. Guys move up and down throughout the system constantly. Like, it's ridiculous how often they do it. Like, I worked in an independent league, and it's like you have professional organizations buying out contracts constantly. Like, you're going to start a season with one roster, you're going to end with half your team not there anymore. So like, it's not too far off, like with what we're trying to do with the DPC. You have your Division 1, which is your major league. You have your AAA of your Division 2, and if you have a Division 3, it's like your AA, right? Like, you throw up your top 2 teams, they go up into the next division. Your bottom 2 teams go down into a division. And it's guys shuffling around constantly trying to make it. Like, it's literally like that. Or like Jamokin, like what you were saying with the NFL. It's your NFL, it's your collegiate, and then it's your high school. Like, each thing has different levels, usually more than at least 3, that they're shuffling all these things around to. Basketball's the same way with like freaking D-League and all that stuff. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure.
So, like, imagine if for football, you and your buddies just had to get together every weekend and practice, and then by luck be good enough some scout sees you and be like, hey, I found these guys, they might be good.
Which is
but
quite
you have
literally,
like nobody showing you the way.
Which is
the one football guru on the block
now, yeah.
Yeah, the guy, like, you're just randomly walking around the fucking neighborhood and you see some guys playing fucking two-hand touch in the fucking park. Like, that's the guy.
And that's the development league. Like,
what is that? What is that fucking movie with the Philadelphia Eagles picking up Mark Wahlberg?
Oh God, what?
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about?
I do. Though? Yeah, I forgot
it's
about
literally
that.
Some guy was like, "Oh, you should try out in the open tryouts." Like that's the
Invincible. It's invincible.
Invincible. Yeah, I mean that's what it is. Right?
I mean, there's 1,000 movies, especially of football, of somebody walking off the street with a tough street kid with a tough attitude who had the arm in high school but then had a kid. Like, there's 1,000 movies of that shit. It brings up an interesting topic though as well, which I like.
Our starting running back just had his baby reveal in the high school that I'm working
at. It's a story that happens anyway, but it's but this brings up an
there's your story time.
Yeah, this brings up another topic that I enjoy, kind of like I'm interested in as well, which is that there's such a lack of a college scene for esports, just speaking generally, and I think that is because exactly what you're describing here. Like, there isn't this ability to kind of see young
teams
talent.
Playing in the 82L.
What's up?
Your college teams are playing in the 82L.
Yeah, I mean, for shit's sake. But that's not even Division 2. That's Division 1. That's Division fucking.
That's Division
100, dude.
Like
that's Division 100.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10.
The point being, and I mean, that team's made up of people who are like Archons, though. Like, I went to college with Immortals, and I tried putting together a team to try shit. And like, my thing is that there was no. Like, when I went to my college, there was no esports. They didn't even know what esports were. I had to go to them. I'm like, hey, I want to put like a professional esports like club together. And they said, video game club? We have video game club. I'm like, no, these are very different things.
But I'm playing Jungle Ursa.
Yeah, exactly. Video game club. And I was like, no. So
no.
I really think that this is like the
we have video game club at home.
Yeah. We pick up a better division if we pick up more divisions and and fucking worship a little bit and put a little bit more into Div 3 and Div 2. We'll see more colleges put into this, right?
So we talked about that too. Like you were saying, Jamoke, when we were talking earlier, you're like, imagine if they threw Div 2 in your face on the main menu.
Yeah, like when Div 2 games were happening, unless you went to the watch tab and you're like, oh, I'm gonna go watch some Div 2 Dota, like throw it in the face like TI does. There's the stream as soon as you get into the game.
I mean, shit, and throw it on the sidebar or something, right?
But like
fuck minimize the
barrier.
Fuck you, dude. I like my sidebar.
No, like
minimize the barrier to find it though.
Okay, so imagine this, and I'm with Jamokin on this. Okay? When I open up Dota right now, I see Battle Pass. If I open it up 2 hours from now, what am I going to see?
Battle Pass.
EG game, right? With the cast. Fucking right there.
Like,
literally the stream.
Literally on
Why
the screen.
don't we have that for fucking Division 2? Imagine having that, and then, like, here's the other point. Like, this is kind of not planned, but it works with it. Everyone's so pissed off about the talent that's coming in right now. Like, how bad are the announcing, and like how bad is like the casters and stuff like that?
They've used all their spells.
If you listen to
so bad.
Oh, who was it? It was Slacks. He was talking like, well, where the fuck else do you want these guys to basically have their tryouts at? There's no minors. There's no like.
The only place you're gonna see him is BTS.
Yeah, who the fuck even remembers BTS as a thing?
There's BTS.
Like, it's like beyond the summit. If you're curious, but like Beyond the Summit hasn't really been a thing like for a while. Like when they used to hold the summit, but like even then, it's like all Div 2, Div 3 teams. But like, imagine if these casters that you're seeing now are going all year like doing like Div 2 stuff. And you're seeing them, and you're getting reactions, and all of a sudden they're like, this guy sucks now. I fuck him off, grab somebody else. This guy's good. Wow, this dude's amazing. Fucking the Licky the Cow, for some reason, even though it's below him, is casting
the Cow?
The Licky the Cow, even though it's below him, is casting a Division 2 game. Well, fuck, this guy is great. Throw his ass up in Div 1
TI main stage. Let's go.
Yep. Like, and then all of a sudden your casters are going to be better because they have a general idea throughout this throughout the year. you're also throwing like the games in people's faces. You know these Div 2 teams. Like I know 5 Rat Force, right? Like
you see 5
I'm seeing them constantly
you know?
with Licky the Cow casting it. And
but it's not just these new casters might not be as good. You also have to like get used to them because casting styles have changed dramatically from person to person.
They're
like,
very different.
Being familiar with the voice and the person and how they cast also makes me think, wow, you're not as bad.
They also have to have
when I listen to a caster I don't know, I'm like,
it.
I'd rather be listening to like OD Pixel and Fog right now, you know?
Yeah, they also have to have the chance to get used to it, right? Like, I mean, if you go from literally tier 3, tier 2 Dota script to like just casting to suddenly group stage of TI where everybody in chat is just making fucking fun of you, you're gonna fucking lose some shit, right? Like you could tell some of the casters that were just nervous as hell. Not nervous.
Oh, absolutely.
But like just were obviously like getting the yips from the fact that they're now in front of not like, you know, the 300 people who watch tier 3 Dota. They're in front of the like couple thousand that watch the TI.
Yeah, you have 80,000 people fucking watching your game, and then you mess something up, you miss call, and then there's LOLs and chat and kappas. And...
Oh yeah, and your entire your entire cast is summed up by everybody use all their spells.
Exactly, right?
Use all their spells. Which spells do they use? All of them. Duh.
On who?
The other team and their own team. He chronoed everybody. 10-man chrono.
What, he chrono the jungle camp?
He chrono balled them all, or some shit like that.
Oh fuck, he got Roshan too. Fuck.
He chronoed the shopkeeper. You know,
like, you found me.
Betcha I did.
But I mean, moral of the story though, throw it in your face. Like, force us to fucking watch it. Like, there's so many people are just forced to watch TI group stages because it's in your face when you fucking load in.
Right? I don't know about the rest of y'all's, but my queues are like 15 to 25 minutes.
Oh yeah, I always. No, you're right, and I always tune into a game, right?
Not me.
So
I'm down here in the 2
I would spend so much time just watching these tier 2 games. And then maybe I might just be like, this is a really good game. Fuck the queue. I'm a little tired. I'll just settle with that W I got, you know, and I'll just finish watching this.
Yeah.
So like,
hey, this is a good series. I like both of these teams.
I'll look at them. They're trying a different strategy that I've not seen before. I'm interested.
Oh, Nigma Galaxy? Who wants to fucking watch them? It's the old TI team.
Never
Who the
heard
fuck are they playing that's beating the shit out of them in tier 2? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I mean, there's 100 reasons to just throw it in your face. And the other thing that like I wanted to mention, and I'm going to use you as an example, Washington, not in the sense to make fun of you, but it's a legitimate thing. Mm-hmm. You made the comment about, well, why isn't there fantasy?
Oh yeah.
And well, there fucking is. But the prizes is like treasures no one gives a fuck about, and shards that how many people do you know have like 200,000 fucking shards?
More than I can care to admit.
I mean, how many do you have right now?
I have sitting on me 250.
250,000 or just 250?
250,000.
Yeah, like Jamokin, how many do you have?
428,000.
Yeah, so like that's my point. Like no one gives a shit. I'm not going to say mine because I like the hero relics.
I like buying things.
Yay!
No, but
fuck money.
You're absolutely right.
You don't care, so you don't do it. I mean,
yeah, and again, it goes back to it's also, you know, you have to click too many buttons to get there. And then you get there and it's like, oh, now I have to open like 800 packs. And it's like, fuck this. I'm not going to do it.
There used to be like a fantasy league that you could do.
Yeah. I mean, imagine if the #1 person who does fantasy predictions throughout the year for like the minors and the majors gets an all expenses paid trip to TI. Like, imagine if that was like the prize. If they had like 3 prizes like that.
Well, here's an add-on to this. So one
Imagine
of my favorite
you get 1% stake in Valve. That's the real price.
Jesus
right there,
Christ,
baby.
now you're talking some real cash there.
So imagine though here, like, so one of my favorite things to do with like fantasy games for the NFL is to just do like a weekly pick'em. And there's like a lot of like corporations and offices that do like weekly pick'ems. You put money into a pot, and then like whoever picks the most, and then like tiebreaker based on scores and stuff like that. You get like, it's basically a game to pick who's going to win each matchup. We do this in 82L. Me and Gambit do the Challenger content, and we have a running total of how many has he gotten right each week, how many have I gotten right each week, and then we go off that. And imagine if you had something like that, where they're better, like instead of shards, or like if like God makes something worse shards other than like shitty sets, but like some kind of incentive. And do that. You're watching the games. The games are in your face. It's the tier 2 ones. You do a weekly pick'em of like this. I mean, hell, you have fucking brackets that you can predict that we just did to start out the podcast, and that are only TI time. Why can't we do this for the majors or the minors? Ooh, like, you know what I mean? Or just do weekly picks. How are the tables going to end up in Division 1 and Division 2? Like, these are fun things to incorporate in.
But again, I want to reiterate, you have to reduce the barrier to find these things as much as you can. Like, this stuff has to be in front of you, because otherwise people just aren't going to click it. They're going to click their hero tabs and they're going to be like, I'm going to play dress up.
Well, shit, in order to get to fantasy, I have to click the watch tab, which is really fucking weird, especially when there's all this extra space. And then I have to click on fucking fantasy, like when all that shows up as a fucking schedule. Then I've got to go, okay, I've got my lineup, but there's nothing in here for the lineup. So how the fuck do I get to the player cards? Oh, I got to open up 50 fucking packs. Like, see, I don't want to do this.
Yeah,
and then in DPs, and then during DPC though, it was
all of them are gone.
There was regions on top of it.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So you would select the region, and then you'd open those cards for that region, and then you go back to your current lineup and be like, okay, which region do I want to play? Well, maybe I opened all my cards for NA, so I'm just going to play NA. Or maybe I opened cards for a bunch of different regions, and now I'm going to play SA this week. And it just became way too much for, I think, the average player.
I completely agree.
Fuck the cards. Just make everyone fucking available.
Yeah, give everybody, you can select any fucking player.
I mean, why is it that there's cards involved? Why is it that we can't just select like, oh, I really do think that this is like Puppy's year as support. This is all his good supports are out. Like, I need to have his card for this shit, and there's like rarity to the card that makes a difference.
Well, I'm looking at like mine, and it's like, I don't have Faith Beyond. I don't have Nothing to Say. I don't have Toronto Tokyo. Mipaska. Like, I have one fucking player on Thunder Awaken. Like, this is stupid.
So it's not actually
like at least in the past, like, no, it's not. It's luck of whatever fucking RNG they want to give you out of a card. But I have 15 fucking Uragi cards. But like I have one player on Thunder Awaken. Like, you kidding me? Like, it's, and the other thing is, like, before in the battle pass, if I would get more cards based on the level that I have my battle pass, and eventually I would have them all. Eventually I would have them all fucking golds. But now I gotta fucking buy packs. What? Or like I have to like recycle a certain amount, and somehow I might get some. Like it's ridiculous. But there's so like fantasy is such a huge thing, like every single sport. Like football, it's like one of the biggest betting things in all of sport to play fantasy football. Like, how many of your friends do you know that play fantasy football? Maybe not you, Jim Oaken, because you guys got the CFL. But like, I'm sure still like people are playing fantasy football like all throughout. I played for fucking the last like 8, 9, 10 years.
Yeah, and I mean, look at the history of that as a whole thing. It's a fucking scheme to get people to watch more football, right? Do the same thing.
You watch more football. You watch everybody.
Yeah.
And like you make a little money on the side.
Exactly. Possibly.
And
it makes it more interesting, more engaging, right?
Mm-hmm. Like, have you ever done fantasy baseball?
Nope.
Oh God, it's fucking terrible. Like, you have to fucking set lineups every fucking day for like the next 5 or 6 months. It's awful. But like, I mean, shit, I did it one time. I won the league. Forgot that I had a fantasy team for about 3 months. Still won. Like, it's one of the biggest things, like more stories, like it's one of the biggest things. And why we can't have like something better and more accessible than what this is, like just having that, and not just tier 1, but tier 2 as well, and having those games in your face, all of a sudden tier 2 Dota is a thing. Amazing. You fucking take some of the like prize pool money out of fucking Battle Pass, all of a sudden Dota becomes a little bit more sustainable. Not perfect, but more sustainable than what it has been. And the best part about it all, Valve doesn't spend a fucking dime.
Well, yes, but no.
I mean, how would they? Like, where would the money come from? Valve, unless they wanted to put money in. I guess they lose money off that 25% that they want to that they give, like, anyways, you know what I mean? Like, they could match it and make it more sustainable. But if you just take like the last Battle Pass, where 25% of the own, like minus the, I think it's 1.5 mil that Valve puts in, you get 40,000 or 40 mil.
I would like to
see split it up.
any Dota 2 transaction, be it the cut they take on the marketplace for transactions or anything, any Dota 2 transaction, a portion of that goes to like the quote unquote pro scene funds. And so it's not just like a TI, but it's everything happening on the marketplace. I go buy a treasure, I go buy a set, whatever. Like a portion of the proceeds or the cut that Bob gets goes to back into the scene. I think there's so many places to like fund for this that's just untapped because we only do Battle Pass. It's definitely something that could be super sustainable.
Yeah. Something to think about. Food for your thought. Any last remarks, fellas?
Ice Frog's new game being announced at the end of TI.
Oh.
THIS Fantasy, goddammit.
THIS Fantasy. Well, with that being said, Ben, you want to close this out? Jamokin did it last time.
Sure. Thanks for listening, everybody, and we will see you next week. Thank you from all of us here at Dose of Sinsanity. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.